think his name was Amori. Yeah, it was Akiyama and Amori. But anyway, yeah, the only other belt I remember going being in line for there with All Japan was the junior belt. I had a really, really good pivotal match of my career at the Budokan with Danny Crockett. He
Mhm.
was the junior heavyweight champion, and it was a title match. And besides that, it was the first time for them to even give me the ball and let me run a few yards with it because they were very protective when I was young and green. So I was always in 6-man tag matches where they could tag in and take over most of the match. And literally, like Stan Hansen could just grab me and throw me out of the ring and just come in like a bully and take over, whether I tagged or not. You know, in the middle of my spot, whatever. He didn't give a fuck. And at the Budokan, which was the big show every tour, that was always the one we looked forward to. Last day of the tour, payoff day, brand new 100 stacks of brand new $100 bills. Don't know how that was. Like he must have got straight from the government or something. But I always did wonder. But that was my match. It was 95 or 96. 95, I think. Could have been 96. One
I
of
know
those
it's
years.
available online. It's available online. I think.
Yeah, Danny Croft, and I learned so much during that match. But the reason that I brought it up is that Sabu told me beforehand. He said, "Hey, don't beat him. Don't beat him." He said, "You don't want to be the junior heavyweight champion because then you'll be labeled a junior for your whole career, and you'll never be able to shake it." And he said, juniors don't make top money. The main eventers are always the heavyweights. And he said, they don't consider you a junior. This will change that, and that you'll be labeled for your whole career. So, don't go for that.
Wow. So how about that? That would have been that's something. So did they offer you the opportunity to win that title, and were you like,
It didn't. It wasn't articulated like that, but through my whole career, I was kind of like just above the line because they would say like 225 is the cutoff,
yeah,
and I was usually like just above that, 230, 235, and so a lot of people would think that I was a junior, but I never was in the junior tournaments and the junior matches and stuff. Like whenever that came around and they were capitalizing on some of those guys, they would they would not try to pull me in. So I was thankful for it because of what Sabu said. He was my teacher, whether it's true or not. And now, I mean, and I think it was true too. But now, I mean, it's changed so much that being 230 pounds now, shit makes me the biggest guy in the dressing room.
yeah.
And by the way, a lot of those 225ers that were doing the junior or lightweight or cruiserweight stuff, they were 225 with rocks in their pockets. So
Yeah.
have someone like 230 stand next to them, you might have been able to tell in some situations as well. You know,
Well, Rob, seeing you physically, like in person, you were definitely not a cruiserweight or a junior. That's for sure. But I think what else was I going to say? Well, it's kind of interesting because you look at like how the Intercontinental title was positioned. It's like, hey, that's like the workhorse title, and then that usually was the indicator that hey, we have confidence in this person to eventually become the WWE champion. And so it's kind of an
yeah,
interesting dynamic. But the fact that it's like junior on the end, that's a pretty cool insight by Sabu to kind of think about that too, and like have that kind of information. So that's neat.
yeah. So there was that match. I also had a match with Kikuchi when Kikuchi was the junior heavyweight champion. In fact, it was that time probably when I wrestled Kikuchi. It was probably that match that Sabu told me, don't go for that belt. And matter of fact, I think it was. And then, but then I wrestled Crawford before that. Either way, I hadn't wrestled that many times for the junior heavyweight championship belt in any company. And when I did, I guess I ended up doing a job.
Yeah, well,